And that's how we transition metaphorically, physically, to a 50-year-old man, excuse me, competing against 13-year-old girls in swimming, written by Andrew Chapados on the new blazenews.com website. Looks spectacular. Only a couple dollars a month. No more ads, no more big tech. Shameless plug, I know, but I write on there. Click my name one time. We're 17. 50-year-old man competes against 13-year-old girls in swimming competition. This is a guy who we see as a very hot dude. That's what he wants, right? He wants you to say, you're a hot dude. He walks into a dress. He's also a professor, by the way. He walks into your university classroom in his dress. That's him doing a lecture. And what he wants is for guys to think that he's hot. Because if I don't think it's a secret that all women want to be seen as pretty. So when you got a guy walking into a classroom in a dress, he thinks that he wants these people are going to think I'm hot. I've worn my favorite dress. I'm wearing my nice glasses. I'm a hot teacher. But buried behind that is also perversion. So why would a 50-year-old man who you'll see can't even beat 13-year-old girls in swimming, why would he not be able to? Why would he be doing that? Why would he be competing against them? Because he's creepy and weird. Now, I'm not going to say anything libelous other than the fact that it's creepy and weird that a 50-year-old man would want to be around underage girls in a swimming pool when he didn't even beat them. Now, it'd be one thing. It'd be one thing if this guy's like, these rules are ridiculous. I'm going to go smoke these bitches. But what's he doing? He's competing against 13 to 17-year-old girls. We're going to show this tab. His fake name, his pretend name, maybe he changed it. I don't know. But he's going by the name Melody Weishart. He's on Team Otter. And right here, I'll zoom that in for you. You can see the ages. So we've got Anathea. I don't want to say their full names. 13. Little Chloe's 14. Little Erica's 13. Bernice, God bless her, she's 14. 50 years old. And he's coming in like fourth or something in just his heat. And then the good old Menzoid, David Menzies, went over there. And we can watch some of this. He went over there and he said, hey, what's going on? Why are you guys allowing a 50-year-old guy to compete against these girls? What are you doing? And first the guy organizing it says, I have no idea what you're talking about. This didn't happen. And then Menzies comes and gives him a sheet, kind of like what I just showed you about the timings and the ages of everybody. And he says, oh, I guess we did do that, but it's not our choice. Now, I don't know if this guy's lying. He doesn't know. He just got there, or whatever his reasoning is. It appeared to be inaccurate because I spoke to a very nice gentleman today from Swimming Canada, and he said that I'll just read you what they said. They can swim in their declared gender at this level. But if you want to be in national competitions, you want to be on Team Canada, they have to abide by those the Swimming Federation rules, which says you have to have transition before the age of 12, which is I think it should be zero tolerance whatsoever because it's not fair, obviously. But those are the rules. And if you want to swim nationally, you have to go by the rules. And this guy said that the organizer of the meet is the one who sets the age limit. So you're going to see that this guy that David Menzies talked to didn't say that. He said that all the information comes from the Swimming Canada and they had nothing to do with it. And what I guess he's saying is nobody pays attention to it. The information gets fed into this thing. They assume everybody's going by the rules. And then a 50-year-old just shows up.
Coordinator for this meet. I do not recall there's a 50-year-old man swimming in here on the Friday, competing with little kids. The registration of a swimmer, it's based in Swimming Ontario and Swimming Canada system. Okay. So when we actually run the meet, we're validating the registration of the swimmer, making sure that they're registered, and also their time for the swim.
Okay.
So what happened is that when we accept those swim entries, that's what we do. It's all going through a system running by Swimming Canada. So what happened is that yes, it's my mistake. We did actually indeed there was someone actually swimming on that. Okay. However,
That would be Melody, right?
well, I don't know exactly because I wasn't present. So
There's
I'm,
no name on that list?
yes, there's a name in here. That's why I'm saying I'm validating whatever the sheet that you have is correct.
Okay.
However, the meet was open age sections.
Patreon.com/UOPod is where you can find our bonus podcast every week, especially when we're banned off YouTube. A few minutes into the podcast today, we got demonetized for the 95th show in a row. It's probably 100 and whatever episode we're on now, 120th episode in a row. You can go to patreon.com/UOPod and get a bonus podcast every week. These are basement low Canadian prices. So if you translate into US dollars, you're saving lots of money. You could help us become Joe Rogan. You could be the Raptors super fan, which is a Sikh guy that goes to every Toronto Raptors game and can somehow afford it. Or you could pay us to become an authorized person. They all come with perks. That's patreon.com/UOPod. Look at us. I'm wearing a toque. You don't get that in the normal episode. We call it a toque up here, Eric. Not even a beanie. We have made up words in Canada. He's saying that all the information comes from, these outside bodies, the governing bodies, Swim Ontario, Swimming Canada, and they check it. All they check is to make sure they're registered. You're telling me level 1, nobody notices on the sheet 50-year-old what's going on here. And technically the event was 13 and up, so I guess he's not wrong. Level 2 is, hey, there's a guy getting in the water next to the little girls. And the third level here is 0 parents put a stop to it. 0 fathers came in and were just like, hey, who's that old guy? Who's that old 50-year-old guy with a penis getting into the water next to my daughter? Is that a referee? Is that a lifeguard? What exactly is that doing? No, and I guess you give some credit for them calling up probably David Menzies, and because he always answers his phone. I won't give you his phone number, but I will tell you that if you call him, he's answering. Spam, he's answering. Telemarketer, he's answering. You want to sell him heroin, he's answering. Just kidding, David Menzies. But how is there no father that's just like, I'm going to put a stop to this right now? And this guy as well. If he's going to hide behind the governing body, who now says seemingly conflicting statement that the age limit or ages are set by the group, now you're going to have to put 13 to 18 so that you can't allow that, even though I think maybe he wanted to allow that. I don't know. But not only is the guy there, should he be putting a stop to it, but there should be parents too. So this guy, if I get that you don't want to lose your job, right? But what would make you lose your job? What would make you say, hey, this is going too far? Is it not a 50-year-old pretending to be a woman and then hanging out with the 13-year-olds in the pool? That's not something you're willing to get fired from your swimming job over. And I get maybe he makes 120, maybe he makes 150 grand in a year. But what's the line? What's the thing you're gonna stop? If somebody just says, "Hey, I'm bringing my machine gun into the pool," is that where you're gonna say that presents an immediate danger? So I'm not gonna allow that. Is that the line, or can we walk back a little bit for a poison substance? Okay, that's also immediate harm. What can we do that isn't short of a person actually physically harming people that you're going to stand up for? What about somebody with like a little motor? Is that's not that's cheating, you guys? Is it not cheating to be a 50-year-old guy swimming against 13-year-olds? I just don't get it. I don't get where the line is for people in their jobs like this. I didn't get it during the lockdowns where you're enforcing masks at Home Depot, Canadian Tire for us in Canada, where they're choking people out because they're not putting masks on. What is the line? And what is the line for the parent who doesn't have a job to lose? And they can just be like, this is insane. Record this, honey. I'm going to pull our daughter out of the pool right now during this competition, or I'm going to go confront this guy. It's pure insanity. And this guy is a teacher at York University, and you're going to love this part. York University in Northern Toronto. There's beautiful David Menzies. So his real name's Cepeda. His last name is something Cepeda. Nicholas Cepeda, otherwise known as Melody Weishart. And you may say, well, Melody Weishart, that's a very charming name. I can do you better than that. It's Dr. Melody Weishart, professor of psychology at York University. Professor of psychology believes he's a man who's fit to swim in races against 13-year-olds. Wrap your head around that. You show up to school, your psychology teacher is a guy in a dress. We're speaking honestly here. We're speaking unfiltered here. A guy in a dress shows up in your classroom, says, I'm the guy who's going to tell you about the human psyche. Believe me. It is your job to now believe me. His areas of research appear to include, and because we're going off a screenshot, so many people don't like journalism. So many people would say that they include. But when we're being honest about ourselves, do I know where the screenshot came from, even though it's in the video and it looks legitimate? I don't have it in my possession. I didn't take the screenshot. I don't know. The professor's areas of research appear to include aging, children, youth, and cognitive processes. Can we wrap our heads around the irony here at all? The ironing is delicious. Psychology professor using a fake name, woman's name, guy shows up in a dress to teach you about psychology in the sense of aging and children and youth and cognitive processes. After or before he goes and says it's cool that I compete against your 13-year-old daughter and I can't even beat her, which it raises more questions as to what he's doing there. Thank you. You're fired. Goodbye. Like, if that happens to you and you're a guy, right? You're 19, you go to this university, you're like, I want to learn about the human mind. I like psychology. I'm going in there. And then the guy is just like, hey, I'm a girl, guys. My pronouns are she, her. My real name, actually, I could have went with, what was his first name again? His first name is Nicholas. I could have went with Nicola or Nikki, but actually I feel like Dr. Melody Weishart, a surgeon from 1838, and I'm here to talk to you about cognitive processes, even though I'm not really sure about what I am. I would pick up my pencil, probably pick up my nice laptop, head on over to the student services building and transfer schools. If they're hiring this person or allowing them to be a psychology professor, what's their math department looking at? Is it going to be like 3 children in a trench coat standing on top of each other with an etch-a-sketch? Their hiring process is a little out of whack.